Welcome to the WRAL Daily Download. I'm your host, Amanda Lamb. In today's episode, we're talking about junk insurance. Basically, it's a phrase that describes short-term limited health insurance. It was meant to be used as emergency coverage, not as a main source of health insurance. And it looks like the government is getting ready to crack down on this industry. WRAL's Five on Your Side producer, Pritchard Strong, joins us to explain the situation. Pritchard, welcome to the program.
Thank you.
So obviously, the lore here is that these are low-cost policies, but they don't cover a lot. Can you explain how they work?
Yeah, I mean, it's exactly what you said. It's for emergencies. These are called short-term, limited duration plans, and really they're meant to be short-term plans and gaps between your coverage that you get from work. If you're in between jobs or anything like that, and you just need a little bit of coverage until you find something new for an emergency, an accident, something like that. This is not covering, your doctor's visits or a planned surgery, anything like that. So not the type of coverage you're going to get at a work-associated plan.
Yeah, and I mean, we were talking a little off mic. Most people, or a lot of people, I should say, work for health insurance because health insurance is so critical. So if you don't have it and you need it, you can see how somebody might be tempted by one of these policies. So your team interviewed a woman who needed insurance. She was in between jobs. She ended up having surgery and then found out it wasn't covered. Explain what happened to her.
Yeah, so Candace Trebus, she moved to North Carolina from California last year. And after she moved here, she was working remotely, lost her job. She had COBRA for 3 months and realized that her COBRA was running out. She needed to find something else. She hadn't found a job yet. So she wanted to keep her coverage going. She did a search. She got contacted by a broker and essentially signed up for a plan that she didn't realize was one of these short-term limited duration plans. She learned afterwards that she needed gallstone surgery, something very common, but was really surprised that the surgery wasn't covered. And she ended up with a $30,000 bill that she was on the hook for.
Wow. Well, that is quite tragic in that situation for sure. We will be back after the break. Welcome back to the WRAL Daily Download. So I want to make sure that we are differentiating what we're talking about, which is this junk insurance from the plans on the Affordable Care Act marketplace. They're very different in terms of what they cover. Can you explain the differences?
Yeah, so kind of think of it in two pods. Affordable Care Act marketplace plans in one pod. Those cover 10 essential items, things like surgery and doctor's visits, and they have to cover those 10 things to be a marketplace plan. When you go over to these limited short-term plans, they are not in the marketplace. They do not cover the same things. And again, they are for emergencies, accidents, things like that, and they're meant to be very short-term gaps between coverage and work-associated plans, and they're much cheaper too, which is the reason a lot of people turn to them is they are low cost for these short-term plans.
And I saw in your reporting that they were only meant to be for a few months, but they can go as long as 3 years?
They can. They are allowed to go 3 years now. The Biden administration wants to bring that back down to 3 months. They don't want people on these plans long term. And again, that low cost is what draws some people to them, and people just don't realize they don't cover a whole lot as far as care goes.
So the woman you talked to, she made a complaint to the North Carolina Department of Insurance. And part of this is that she felt somewhat pressured into this. Tell me how they were able to talk her into this, and then tell me if the company has responded to the situation.
Yeah, so the agent that she spoke with gave her a great story that he had lived in North Carolina his whole life, that he used this insurance that she was about to sign up for, and he had never had any problems with it. It was accepted everywhere. She later found out that didn't appear to be true. And through our research, we found that this agent that she says she spoke to is based in Florida. He's not based in North Carolina. He got his license to sell insurance just 5 days before she spoke to him about a policy. And also, he does not appear to have been authorized to sell these particular type of federal life insurance plans that he sold Candace Trebus.
And so health insurance plans. So have they responded? Has he responded?
He responded to the Department of Insurance investigation, essentially saying that he disputes Candace Trebus's statements that he pressured her into this. He says he went through all the plan options and that her goal was to get the cheapest plan. She disputes that and says she was never presented with all the options and was assured that this plan would cover what she needed.
So what is being done about these policies? I know you said it sounds like there's going to be a crackdown soon from the federal government. Is anything else being done?
So, the Biden administration, again, wants to bring these from 3-year term policies down to 3 months to kind of cut down on these instances of people running into trouble with them. One of the biggest things that I think people can maybe kind of do for themselves is just be really careful. You can't always believe what these brokers are telling you. There was something in Candace Trebus's policy that said, regardless of what a broker tells you, what's in the policy is what applies. Kind of essentially saying they can tell you what they want to, but what's in black and white on paper is what we're going to go by. So it's really just kind of being careful, reading through your policies, and really taking steps to protect yourself from getting into a situation where you could end up owing a lot of money.
Yeah. And so, again, just being very careful in terms of what you're getting into and paying a lot of attention to the details.
Absolutely. Taking a look through and if you need longer term coverage, more than just a month or two between jobs, you can go to the Affordable Care Act marketplace. They do have policies on there for, some people are going to be eligible for as low as $10 a month, is what advocates have told us. But just be sure about what those policies are covering before you sign up for them.
Yeah, and make sure they're coming from a reputable place. Absolutely. Well, Pritchard, thank you so much for explaining this. This has been the WRAL Daily Download, a production of WRAL News. Check out my new true crime podcast from WRAL Studios. The Killing Month, August 1978, is our brand new show, which details the investigation into the serial murders carried out by a band of outlaw brothers in Pennsylvania. Episodes 1 and 2 are available now. Find the show wherever you get your podcasts.